Hi everyone, Talia from Zart Art, and today we're going to be creating a paper weaving. Okay, so we're going to use 3 different colours of paper for this project, and all you need is some scissors, a grey lead pencil, a ruler and some black markers. So you could use fine liners or thick markers, either is fine. So just with our paper, we're going to cut 2 colours into strips going horizontal. So with my ruler, all I'm going to do is rule out some even bands and then cut them out. So just to show you how to do this, because I do have some that are already pre-cut, because you don't want to watch me cutting out strips for 5 minutes. It's just doing them ruler length apart. Depending on how big you want your strips, you can do them either thinner or thicker, but just for ease, I'm going to do them a ruler length apart, so then you don't have to measure out any dots along the sides. You can just put your ruler down the page and mark them out nice and straight. So not having to do the whole page, but wanting to do at least half the page, rule out your lines, and then with a pair of scissors, try and cut them as straight as possible. So all you need to do is go through about half the paper, rule your lines, then cut them out on 2 pieces. But here I already have a few strips already cut out, ready to go. So we'll just leave them to the side. And then with your 3rd piece of paper, all you're going to do is rule some lines going vertical, and we're going to use the same measurements, so a ruler length apart, and just tracing them out with our ruler and our pencil. So I'm also going to rule a border around this piece of paper, because this will be our weaving plate template. So when we're cutting this out, we don't want to cut all the way to the edges. So I'm just going to rule a border around it to make sure that we don't cut too far. Okay, so now we have our border. I'm just going to continue ruling lines vertical. Okay, so now we've got our vertical lines ruled. All I'm going to do is fold this paper in half. So I want to make sure that it is nice and even so nothing moves around. Just give that a gentle fold in half. And what we're going to do is cut down these lines. So not going all the way to the end, that's why we've ruled this border around. So you just want to make sure you go down to that line and not cut through the whole piece of paper. Now we've got our weaving template here, so I'm just going to turn it around from the pencil side onto the blank side. And now what we're going to do is weave our other coloured strips through our template. So I'm going to start off the first one by going over and then under, over, then under. So you want to repeat this process by going over and under each strip. So make sure you don't miss any. If you do, then you can take your paper out and restart. But as you can see, we've gone over, under, and then just push that strip all the way to the top. And then we're going to use our next colour and go through the same process, but in reverse. So instead of going over the first one, we're going to go under, over, under, over. And we're going to repeat that, alternating patterns and alternating colours. So each strip of paper, just make sure that you're pushing it all the way to the end, so then we get nice even lines. Now that we've finished weaving our papers through, the next step that we're going to do is add some different shapes, lines to create a pattern. So all I'm going to do is in each band of colour or each area, I'm going to choose a specific pattern and then work along the lines to recreate those patterns amongst every colour. So that will create a sense of symmetry, and it's really lots of different options that you can do for this, whether you want to solely look at using lines or certain shapes. You can use a combination, but I'm just going to do a few different patterns and we'll see how that looks at the end. So now that we've finished, we've added a few different kinds of shapes, patterns and lines into our work, and it's created a nice sense of symmetry in the repeating colours as well as the repeating shapes. So you can definitely go into more detail with this and do very, very fine shapes and line work, but I'm quite happy with that, so I'll leave it there. If you wanted to go larger scale, you could definitely do that as well. This is a great lesson for primary age students if you want to develop your fine motor skills with the weaving techniques as well as learning about those different lines and shapes. And this is really good for juniors all the way through to middle primary to develop those skills. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.